Drew Aller was awesome. 85% completion rating, 217 yards, and a beautiful touchdown throw to Kyron Hudson. Improved arm strength and mobility were on display. Listen, Drew was so good at times that it almost made me forget some of the issues he had last season, because it was like, oh, this is just where he's at now. This is a new level of Drew Aller that we are talking about. The improvements he made throughout the offseason are very clear. The pounds that he lost, the improvements he made mentally. Listen, I know it's Nevada. I know it's week 1. We saw similar stuff with Drew against weaker opponents last season. But this level of consistency, I can really think of the Purdue game last year, and that was about it in terms of this level of just sheer dominance from start to finish. And obviously he didn't have to play a full 4 quarters like he will have to later in the year. I saw some people noting that it was really nice to just see Drew Aller out there for the full time while he was playing. It was essentially 3 quarters that he played. Instead of switching between Bo and Drew and not having to think about that, maybe that helps him mentally as well, where it's like, okay, this is my offense. I am the sole driver of this offense. If this offense is going to score points, it is because I am succeeding. And it was really nice to see that from Drew here in game 1. Just some of the throws he was making on the move. Overall, really solid. You'd be hard-pressed to find better quarterback play in college football from week 1. And I think that really starts with the revamped passing game being a direct result of elite receiver play. Trevor Penn just reminds me so much of Parker Washington. Just the way he's all over the field, finding different ways to get the ball in his hands, the toughness, the willingness to take hard hits, the size, the route running, the crispness. Just, it reminds me so much of Parker Washington wearing that number 3. And then even seeing what Washington's done in the NFL, Trevor Penn looks like an NFL talent right off the bat in game 1. Again, you do not want to take too much away from week 1. You don't want to overreact to things, but that was a really good performance from a guy that we hadn't seen yet because he didn't play in the blue-white game. We hadn't seen him in in-game action. Yes, we'd seen him in practice all summer and fall, and he looked great in practice, but this was his first chance on the field in front of 107,000, and he looked really, really good. Looked really comfortable in that role, ready to be the most targeted receiver on the team in a sort of number 1 receiver role. But I think it's going to be a 1A, 1B, because Kyron Hudson, my goodness, he might never drop the football. If you put it in the general vicinity of number 1, he's going to reel it in. There were a couple of insane wide receiver stats. Kyron Hudson had 6 catches in the game. Pena had 7. All of last season, Trey Wallace and Amari Evans combined did not catch 6 passes in a single game. Just let that sink in. And then also as a group, the Penn State wide receivers last week had 16 receptions. That's more than the wide receivers had last year in any game, and the closest they were was 14 receptions against Kent State, where Penn State broke the record for most yards in program history. My point here is that we haven't seen receiver play this good in Happy Valley for several years, and Coach Higgins has this group rolling right out of the gate. On the defensive side of things, Amari Campbell and Denai Dennis Sutton dominated, wreaked havoc, annihilated. They're supposed to be stars, and they played like stars. DDS forced 2 fumbles and delivered a big sack. He lived in the backfield on Saturday. With Abdul Carter off to the NFL, there were some questions around college football whether Dennis Sutton could replace him or not. Some said, no way. Abdul Carter was a generational talent. However, I had more faith in 33. This past Saturday against Nevada, that was just the solidification of his status among the greatest in college football. If you didn't already know, now you know. DDS was coming, and now he's here. His time has arrived, and you get to witness. I'm restless thinking about what opportunities he's going to have this season and how frightfully good he's going to be when he takes advantage of them.